Twins, Happy New Year! It's 2026. Can you believe it? And I love your little party, which is still going on. It's so good.
2026.
We got balloons for you, Dan.
I am super impressed and super happy. Thank you so much for being here. And goodness me, we're going to look forward, of course. But ladies, I guess we have to start by looking back, don't we? And I really feel like 2025 was the year that America finally woke up to Harry and Meghan. Of course, that turn was happening, but the loyalty to the British royal family, especially Catherine and William, seems as strong now stateside as it does in the United Kingdom. You've obviously been on the ground. What's changed? What happened last?
2025 wasn't necessarily cruel to Harry and Meghan. I feel like it was honest finally. It was finally like we had to get them in a room and have an intervention and tell them and be honest and say, look, guys, there is nothing great about you. We don't like you. We don't think you're Roy. We don't like any of the things that you put out. I just feel like there was some sort of honesty that came out when it came to America, because we've always had this one thing in common, whether you're conservative or liberal, people do not like Harry and Meghan, but it just wasn't talked about. But now I just noticed that stories that you were covering years ago, that we were covering, is finally hitting the mainstream. So there's just like this honesty now where it's like, okay, guys, we don't have to pretend and we don't have to put on our kid gloves with Harry and Meg. We can finally tell them how we feel, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Dan,
Yes.
I hate to break this to you, but they might be coming back
No!
to the UK.
No!
Yes. No.
Why do you think that?
I think because they've exhausted all their opportunities here. I mean, if you're going to Kris Jenner for help, you have reached the bottom of the barrel. This is Kris Jenner. This is a woman who has started fake churches.
Yeah.
This is a woman who has started fake businesses.
Mm-hmm.
This is a woman who has pimped out her daughters.
And she's not going
Using
to
a
put
sex tape, by the way.
Well, yes,
I mean,
it is,
it's the lowest of the low.
She's not going to put any time and effort into Harry and Meghan when she has her family to worry about. Why would Kris put any time and energy?
No, I'm just saying it. I'm like, this is their last resort. So Dan, I'm so sorry, but you might have to take them this year.
Well, it is interesting, you know, there has been a lot of briefing and counter briefing. By the way, just before I get to that, what I would say about the Kardashians, I'm sort of agnostic to the Kardashians, but my fiance absolutely adores them. And I would say what I love about them is their all-American honesty, okay? So that is one of the reasons why they did become successful because, yeah, we'd seen everything. You know, yes, we had seen the sex tape. Yes, we did know that Kris Jenner was in on that. And actually, that sort of brutal honesty and commercialism has become part of their authenticity, which is obviously the opposite of what Harry and Meghan are putting out, which is that they pretend to do good when actually they really are out for the money more than anything. And I've been saying that for a very long time. So that's the first thing I'll say about the Kardashians. Now, what's interesting about the whole Meghan to the UK thing is that there has been briefing and counter briefing over the past few weeks. Some people suggesting that actually, if it was for the right money, the right price tag, potentially a new Netflix TV show, she would find a way to come back. Others say, no, it's Harry who wants the royal court here. Part of his motivation is to spend as much time away as possible from his wife. So actually, he's quite content with her saying, no, I really don't want to go back. I'm still dubious that she really would be prepared to take the risk, because we know what happened the last time she was here. We know about the booze outside St. Paul's Cathedral during the late Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee. It's not that her safety is at threat. Like, please, that's ludicrous. You know, we're quite nice people here, okay? It's nothing to do with her safety, but her dignity, her pride, well, yeah, that is on the line, ladies. If she comes back.
I think we will have the answer when Invictus rolls around. We'll know how serious she is. I mean,
she can't avoid that, really.
I mean, Harry is literally a motivational speaker.
At the point,
I mean, this could not be any lower for him.
Yeah, but also the worst motivational speaker in history because he puts you to sleep.
The worst.
The fact that
he's horrible.
They don't allow cameras and they're very picky about like cell phone usage in there.
And he sticks to the same script.
Yeah, it's the same script because that's why he's hired. He's hired to talk about being a prince and Afghanistan and whatever the hell he does all day. I don't know.
Oh, big tech. Harry, big tech. The risk of big tech while his wife is posting all posting all of the
while she's posting everything. Exactly. They're doing the complete opposite. And there's nothing authentic about them. Everything seems rehearsed. The stories that they correct are just like the oddest ones, like the ones about her dad. She'll correct that one. What was the one she corrected the other day too? Ooh, it just slipped my mind. But the way she corrects stories, and then she won't correct other stories.
Yeah, she picks and chooses, doesn't she?
She picks and chooses. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for it slipped my mind. But she just did one the other day, and I was like, why would she even talk about that one?
Yeah.
But it's so odd. But hey, look, I have to be honest with you. I would be a little sad if they went back to the UK and disappeared and stayed quiet, because right now they're so funny. It's just so amusing to me, and we all have a good laugh. So imagine them being gone. No,
trust me. I imagine them gone.
No,
all the time.
I know. But like,
Dan, take them.
No, but it's like
no, thank you.
Take them, Dan.
In order for them to go back to the UK, I can only imagine that there would be like strict boundaries. Like, you are not leaving the grounds of Windsor if you want to come live here again. Or actually, they probably wouldn't put them on the grounds of Windsor. They'd probably put them on Sandringham, because Prince William is not going to have that. I don't know. And that's
because exactly Windsor is becoming Williams, and part of Andrew moving away from Windsor is because William's saying, no, Windsor is going to be the working base of the British royal family, and it's not going to be a place for lots of royal liggers to live. But look, before we get back, I just want to show you, it was an interview late last year, and not someone who talks all the time about royal matters, but when I was watching this, and it was with the brilliant commentator Douglas Murray, on Rita Panahi's Sky News Australia show, I thought Douglas, in only the way that he can, summed up why it has gone so wrong for Prince Harry in America. And I wanted you both to look at this, and we'll discuss as we go, because he gives such an intelligent insight into it. Watch.
A deep, cringing embarrassment. I wanted to cover my eyes as you were showing me that, Rita. I never want to see it again. There's more of it now on the screen. Look, first of all, the whole thing's excruciating, of course. But normally in a situation like this, when somebody tries their hand, for instance, at comedy, the normal thing to say is, don't give up the day job. Except you can't really say that in this case, because it's not clear what Harry's day job is. It's sort of don't give up not doing anything in the day. It's just excruciating. He seems to me to be intent on destroying the mystique and some of the power, really, of the monarchy as an institution. The monarchy as an institution is incredibly important in a constitutional democracy. And Prince Harry has been trying to sort of spend down the endowment of public sympathy and even, I think, interest in him. And this is just the latest example of him going about this. I always have the same thing, Rita, when I see this, which is, I think, What a terrible way to spend your life. You know, he's clearly looking for a purpose.
And we'll get to more of Douglas in just one moment, but I wanted to bring you in, Sidleys, because it's true, isn't it? You can see Harry over the 12 months that we have just gone through and realize that this is now a shell of a man. Physically, you see that loss, that total lack of purpose. He's aged. He looks deeply unhappy. And you contrast his decline physically with Prince William really becoming a heartthrob again this year as he found his feet again as Catherine recovered from cancer. And that contrast is so telling. And I think it is for the reason that Douglas Murray points out. Harry is purposeless.
Yeah, and also it's like we really did go through the year, and I remember Nancy and I were saying, "Where's Harry?"
Yeah.
He's
Throughout the
MIA.
year. Yeah, but this whole Stephen Colbert stunt was so obviously trying to be Eugene Levy. But it's and yet he goes on Stephen Colbert,
who is canceled,
so cringe, and is canceled. His show's not even canceled. They're just like, you know what? We don't even need a late night show anymore. We're good. Like, I mean,
he's a robot.
I mean, and did you see like his appearance? Like, go to the barber at least. You're on TV. I mean, I get it. Nobody really watches Stephen Colbert, but what is this thing where he thinks he can just walk in like Tom Cruise and do these cameos, and that we're gonna respect him somehow?
But it was very devastating that the night he did this, Thomas Markle Sr.
Was that the night?
Yes.
Okay.
Had his leg amputated.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, and yet Meghan still posted about the interview on her Instagram.
Yeah, we have to laugh about this now. We have to laugh. We have to be jolly. No, we're not.
Yeah, it was pathetic. I was just, oh God, that was such a cringe moment. I was out of town and I got like a beep on my phone and I like turn over and I go, "You have got to be kidding me."
She thought I was joking.
I thought she was joking. I mean, I'm like, he's in the hospital. Why isn't Meghan on a plane?
And why is Meghan actually showing the Stephen Colbert bit?
That was the other thing I was shocked at.
She
posted
100%.
Yeah.
But actually, why wasn't she canceling Harry? He recorded that knowing that Thomas Markle's life was in jeopardy, in peril. Now, look, we know because of how things developed after that, Meghan doesn't give a damn about her father. This was all about PR for her. But if she was smart, even from a PR perspective, if he had half a brain, even from a PR perspective, he would have said, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. No, because it adds to this thing of, we did the Oprah Winfrey interview when Prince Philip was dying in hospital. We filmed the Netflix special and wrote Spare while Queen Elizabeth II was battling cancer that would end up killing her. But they don't think, they don't care. Nothing was going to get in the way of the plan. And you could see that Meghan, and this is why I never believed all of the PR maneuvers that she tried later, right, in regards to her father. Because if she really cared, ladies, she would never have posted an Instagram story of her husband joking around on a TV set as her father literally went under the knife to have his left leg chopped off. But she did. She did.
Disgusting. Just disgusting.
It is.
I don't care what your father has done. I don't care what he's done. You know what I mean? You better get on a freaking people make mistakes. Parents, when they have kids, when our parents had the two of us come out, they didn't get a manual or a blueprint on how to be.
Boy, they did a good job. And they're super proud of you because I loved seeing them on your 100,000 special. But I know what you mean. And
you think I stopped talking to them because I've been mad at them before over stupid things?
I think Meghan saw this opportunity.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, I'm going to get sympathy for me.
Oh yeah, right.
I
Well,
mean,
it
my
backfired.
dad is sick. So is anyone asking me if I'm okay?
Yeah.
And it backfired.
Totally, because that's
actually.
always what she thinks, isn't it? Oh, I'm in
Yeah,
South
she's
Africa,
victim.
surrounded by poverty, but I'm going to speak to Tom Bradby about how terrible it is that no one is asking me if I'm okay. But look, there was more from Douglas Murray, so let's go and watch this.
The show opens with total honesty, not diplomacy. The phrase "there is nothing great about you" isn't cruelty, it's the thesis of the entire discussion. The argument is simple: the illusion has finally shattered. 2026 begins with the idea that Harry and Meghan are no longer being handled with kid gloves. No reverence. No sympathy. Just public rejection. This is a critical framing moment. The claim isn't that Britain turned on Harry and Meghan, America did. That matters because the Sussex brand only survives if America buys it. The panel argues that 2025 wasn't cruel, it was honest. The takeaway: the US media stopped pretending. Public opinion finally caught up with reality. This is savage and deliberate. The panel describes 2025 as a cultural intervention, where Americans effectively said, "We don't like you. We don't buy your narrative. And we're done pretending." The key insight: both conservatives and liberals quietly disliked Harry and Meghan, but now it's safe to say it out loud. This is where panic enters the conversation. The idea that Harry and Meghan could return to the UK is treated like a national threat, not a reconciliation story. Why? Because it suggests failure, not forgiveness. This segment is vicious, intentionally. Invoking Kris Jenner isn't about celebrity snobbery, it's symbolic. The claim is that when you're begging the Kardashians for relevance, you've exhausted every other option. The implication: Hollywood has closed its doors. There's nowhere left to climb. Here's the irony that stings. The Kardashians are praised for honesty, commercial, unapologetic, transparent. Harry and Meghan are accused of fake virtue, pretending to do good while chasing money. That contrast destroys the Sussex moral positioning. This is where things get psychologically uncomfortable. Two theories emerge. Meghan would return only for money and cameras. Harry wants back to escape his marriage and reclaim royal status. The panel leans toward this: Harry wants home. Meghan doesn't unless there's a price tag. This is a crucial correction. The argument outright rejects the safety narrative. Britain isn't dangerous. What Meghan fears is booing, rejection, humiliation. It's not security, it's ego. This section openly mocks Harry's current role. Once a prince, now a recycled keynote speaker, delivering the same script behind closed doors. The commentary is brutal. He isn't inspiring anyone. He's selling his past because he has no present. This segment highlights manipulation. Meghan is accused of correcting stories when it suits her, staying silent when it doesn't, weaponizing PR selectively. The takeaway: authentic people don't curate truth this way. A darkly comic moment. The panel admits Harry and Meghan are entertaining, not admirable. They exist as spectacle, not substance. Which is worse?
If he had done what duty actually demanded of him, he would be in the UK at the moment with his wife, and they'd be performing royal duties. They'd be raising funds for deserving charities. They'd be opening sports facilities and school halls and things to, a sort of enamored crowds of people who just wished them well. And they could actually be doing good with their lives. And instead, there's just this sort of peripatetic wandering around TV studios and elsewhere. And it's just such a bad way for him to spend his life and to spend down, if you remember back, 30 years or so, to spend down the considerable public sympathy and indeed even admiration and love that existed for him. It's such a curious career.
Yeah, and I do think that is where history, because remember, all of these micro scandals that we cover on a daily basis, right, add up to this wider picture. And the wider picture is that this is historic. Never has a popular member, at one point the most popular member of the royal family, fallen so far, so fast because of a woman. Because if you think back to the Duke of Windsor, he wasn't actually that popular when he became king. You know, he was a Nazi sympathizer. He wasn't king for very long. It was a very different time in the media. But as Douglas Murray points out, when you look at that macro level and you think back to 1997, it took so much more for the public to turn on Prince Harry, because in so many ways, we loved Prince Harry. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I woke up much earlier than most because I had been covering this guy very closely since about 2008, 2009. And I knew that he was a really nasty character behind the scenes. And I knew that he treated women terribly. And I knew that he treated his friends terribly. And I knew that he treated his staff terribly. But that was never the public perception.
He was the golden boy.
He was.
He was totally the golden boy. And it takes like 5 years for him to just become the bottom of the barrel. We literally, when I think of Harry, I really think of just like a wimp, a failure as a man, a wimp, a beta.
But I also think
and a
like
loser.
in the last couple weeks, I feel like Meghan with her dad, if she would have flown to the Philippines, could have had a redemption story.
But she's not. She's not going to do that.
No, I'm just saying that it's like she had a moment and she blew it.
Yeah.
She blew it.
Well, no, they did this to themselves. Everything. At first, I was like, let's cut them some grace. Hollywood's a tough town. It's a tough town. Let's give them some grace. But trauma is not a credential. That's the problem. They thought they could bring this trauma story to the US and use it as a get out of jail free card. That's what they thought. They thought, we are going to write our own ticket as long as we do this. And everything started become like the culture changed. They wanted humor and humility and evolution. We have not seen any growth with these two. They haven't evolved in any way, shape, or form. If anything, they've gotten worse. But it's
true.
I've never seen two people just kind of like just like this, like stagnant, but then occasionally like go crazy again. I mean, there's no redemption for them. There really isn't.
There's no love for them.
Well, there's no love too.
No, and it was interesting
like
how Douglas Murray wrapped up what he was saying about Harry.
I hope at some point that he realizes what a mess he's made of all this, how incredibly actually unrewarding it is in every sense other than the financial sense to spend your time doing this, that nobody wants it, nobody likes it, and that the other life he could have had, the one that he was actually born to have, is the life he should be leading. And it would be one in which he could find meaning and purpose. He could be raising funds for charities to do with the armed forces in which he served. He could be addressing questions of, how better we look after soldiers after they return from conflict, for instance. There's all sorts of really useful things he could be doing. But just think about it. There instead, he is making some lame jokes, trying to be a lame comedian, in a manner which, as I say, I just want to cover my eyes and ears when I see that footage.
And it's so true. It is so true. What he could have done, what he should have done. Mm-hmm. It was a historic opportunity. And no matter how he tries to square the circle, no matter what type of mental arithmetics he goes through, you blew it, Harry. You prove you were not a humanitarian. You walked away from your duty. This is where it's ended up. And it's a fail. It is a big, fat failure.
But the mask not only slipped, it fell. it fell down the drain. It fell down that gutter that the clown Pennywise is hiding under. That's where the mask went. Like it couldn't be further down the drain.
And they at a stalemate.
Yeah, but they did this to themselves. And now, in my opinion, they're broke. I'm sorry, but
you can't.
Where are they making their money? Did you notice
it's
that
expensive?
We live on
the West Coast.
Yeah, it's expensive. I mean, as ever, she first says free shipping till December 1st. Now she's extended the free shipping to January 1st. My dad owns retail
stores. Get in quick. You've got a few hours left.
Oh God, yeah. But we had our dad on the show yesterday.
Crazy Meghan is selling things.
Or Tom Peterson or something. Look up Tom Peterson, guys.
She's selling garbage cans.
But it's like you do these specials. This is the biggest month for retailers. December. Yeah. It's huge. The signs that she keeps extending these sales is not good. If she needs. The first year of any good business is you don't make a profit. You break even. For about 5 years, Dad said. He's like, you don't make a lot of money right away. You break even. But I don't think she's getting the volume that she thought she was going to have. Like, I'm just going to have so many people buy it. They're going to be, the volume is going to, and then we'll make the money. But I don't think that's happening because everything's white labeled and everything is distributed through snow commerce, and Netflix wants nothing to do with her. They put out, did you see that video? They put their Dallas
they put their video up,
and it went through the Dallas shop, and it had all the shows, even
Squid Game,
and even Love is Blind, which isn't even a popular show.
Nothing as ever.
Nothing.
No, they're done with it. They're embarrassed by it. I mean, it was barely showing up on anyone's home screen. And if you know Netflix, that's super important. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What are they pushing out to you? And even for people who had watched it before, so Meghan was in their algorithm, it wasn't even being pushed. And of course it showed up in no charts. No charts whatsoever. She will blame that on the Thomas Markle debacle, but it actually was nothing to do with that, was it? It was nothing to do with it.
It was so interesting to see that Meghan, as ever, was not even included.
Yeah, it was. Well, we knew Netflix. That. Yeah, we knew.
Fascinating. Yeah. Absolutely fascinating. But look, what I want to do is come back and we will save this up for Sunday at midday, UK time, and talk to the Sidleys about what they're expecting from this year. What are their royal predictions, of course, in terms of the Montecito Monas, but also the British royal family too, because this is going to remain a big year of change coming up. So please be back with us.
Douglas Murray's commentary cuts deeper than mockery. He frames Harry as purposeless, desperate, actively destroying the mystique of the monarchy. The line that lands hardest: what a terrible way to spend your life. This contrast is devastating. Harry, aged, lost, diminished. William, stronger, steadier, respected, especially as Catherine recovers. The symbolism is clear: duty builds character. Resentment corrodes it. Harry's TV appearances are framed as cringe, desperate, outdated, trying to be funny without humor. Trying to be relevant without purpose. This is the most morally explosive segment. While Thomas Markle undergoes a leg amputation, Meghan posts Harry joking on TV. The panel doesn't argue nuance. They call it disgusting. This moment annihilates the concerned daughter PR narrative. This line is central. The panel argues Harry and Meghan tried to use trauma as a permanent moral shield. America rejected it. Audiences want growth, humor, humility. The Sussexes offer none. The conclusion becomes stark. There was a moment, especially with Meghan's father, where redemption was possible. They didn't take it. Now, sympathy is gone. Grace is exhausted. Murray outlines the life Harry could have had: service, meaning, purpose, respect. Instead, Harry chose money without fulfillment, fame without dignity. This is framed as unprecedented. No royal has fallen this fast. This far. With this much goodwill squandered. Not even the Duke of Windsor compares. Any remaining sympathy is withdrawn. The panel states plainly, this wasn't media cruelty. This wasn't racism. This wasn't bad luck. It was choice. The final blow is financial. Endless sales extensions. White-labeled products. No Netflix promotion. No algorithm push. No charts. The conclusion, Hollywood is embarrassed. The tap is being turned off. The episode closes by framing 2026 as a year of consequences. For the Sussexes. For the monarchy. For public patience. The mask didn't just slip. It shattered. What remains? No trust. No goodwill. No narrative control. Just consequences. Now it's over to you. Has America finally turned on Harry and Meghan? Was the Thomas Markle moment unforgivable? Should Harry ever be allowed back into royal life? Is there any redemption left, or is it over? Like, if you think the Sussex era has collapsed, comment with your unfiltered opinion, subscribe for fearless royal commentary the media won't touch. Because 2026 isn't about excuses, it's about accountability.